Chapter 2. Kids was way too young to end it all. Radar shook his head while staring at the body. I'm assuming suicide, but I suppose we'll have to wait for the autopsy. The coroner was John Potts, a 56-year-old retired doctor who became a new career servicing the small towns of upstate New York. His lab was 15 miles away, in the bigger burg of Hamilton, where the bus station was located, he said. What can I tell you is that there doesn't seem to be any kind of blunt force trauma, strangulation, suffocation. There are no other bullet wounds other than the one to his right temple, and no stab wounds. Of course, with all this animal activity, something might have been eaten away. Then there's the tox screen, of course. The captain nodded. Radar was in his late 50s, a tad less than 5 feet tall, a strong build except for a slight paunch. His face was saggy with light eyes, thin upper lip covered by a grey moustache and a cleft chin. He raked whatever white hair he had left with his fingers. To Decker, he said. What do you think? Decker said. Single gunshot with no other bruises or wounds. Probably suicide, and it probably happened in the late night or early morning. I'll split the difference and say around midnight. Potts looked up. What drew you to that conclusion? Flurries fell around 2 a.m. He was dead before that happened because he had been covered by a light sprinkling of snow. The exposed skin is cold and hard, but there is still warm underneath with nothing frozen solid except for the toes and fingers. Also, in my experience, this isn't something people do during the daytime. They think about it, they get drunk and start brooding, and then they crawl away to end it all. When you do a tox screen, I bet you'll find alcohol or drugs. How close am I to your time estimate? Potts had already put a thermometer into the liver from 11 last night to 3 this morning using an average outside temperature of 25 degrees. If it's suicide, it's an odd duck, Raider said. Alone and naked in the deep heart of the forest. This isn't going out in style. It's more like don't anyone take notice of me. To Potts. What do you make of it? My department is the how, Mike. Potts stood up and snapped all off his gloves. Your department is the why. He nodded to assistant to load the body into the gurney. It was a 5 to 7 minute walk to the clearing where the van had parked. The coroner said, I'll have to thaw the body thoroughly before I can do the autopsy. It shouldn't take too long to get him on the slab. Even so, it'll take at least a couple of days if nothing else comes up. A pause. Poor kid. And you have no idea who did it? Not yet. I'll keep you updated when I know something. Potts rubbed his arms and hurried to keep up with his assistant. Raider turned to Dexter. What's next? Do you mind finishing off the forensics? Not a problem. What's your plan? McAdams and I are going to follow the pathway and see if we can figure out how we got here. It's a long way to come by foot. There isn't any vehicle nearby. If he walked, it was an all-day affair. Maybe he camped out. That could be. It's cold but easily survivable with the right clothes and provisions. Anyone check missing persons around the area? Ben Reuter is on it. He worked from a desk in a warm place. The luckier stiff than this one, McAdams added. Rhoda's face turned sour. Are you officially working, McAdams? If so, I'm going to figure out how to pay you, Decker said. He just happened to be in the car with me when you made the call. He's given me the day, and then he's back to civilian life. He has finals to study for. Ah, law school, Rhoda said. How's that going? It's going. So you're not working for the department? Decker answered first. No, he's just here for the ride. McAdams said, last I heard, of my majority. I'm of my majority and capable of making my own decisions. This isn't why you came down here, Decker said. Things change, old man, as you always say. Flexibility is a virtue. I don't remember saying that. So you're working on the case, Raider said. I'll work with Decker if he wants me. If it's suicide, it won't take long to wrap it up, right? Once we find out who he is. If it's not suicide, it gets complicated. I'm not pulling you away from your studies. Not to worry, I could probably take the extra exams right now and pass. I'll bet a low pass. Besides, I could use a break for a day or two, clear my head of all that legal nonsense. So are you working or not? Raider asked. Yes, I'm working, and don't worry about the money. We'll use the bartering system. You can teach me all you know about ballistics, fingerprinting, and blood splatter pattern, and I'll give you my time gratis, but only if the Lou wants me around. You can tag along today to Raider, Decker said. Did you find out the identity of the anonymous caller? Carson Jackson, age 16. The other set of footprints probably belonged to Milo Newcamp, also age 16. They claimed they were out hiking, but they were probably hunting illegally. Hunting what? McAdams asked. Turkey, fox, deer, which would be okay, so it's not hunting season. They're coming down to the station house with their parents at around 6 in the evening. Tell them to bring the shoes they hiked in this morning. You've got shoe prints? We do, Decca said. We'll probably be back by then. I don't want to be here in the dark. It's disorientating enough in the daylight. Plus, there's no phone reception. If I'm not at the station house by 6, come look for me, please. I'll do that, Rada smiled. Decca looked at McAdams. Give him your phone. What? You have the snapshot of our victim on your phone? So do you. You have more. Give it to me. McAdams made a point of sighing as he handed his phone to Rada. Decca asked. Decca said, when you get to your computer, could you download the snapshots and send them to my computer? Also have someone make leaflets with Doe pictures so we can start passing them around. Do you think he's local? McAdams thinks he's probably a student at one of the 5 colleges of upstate. I suspect he's right, since no one has reported him missing. I want to pass the pictures around the campuses. If you could get someone to grease the skids at the colleges, we can move efficiently. I'll call in the mayor. He'll want to know what's going on, especially after last time. Yeah, I have a feeling he doesn't like me very much, McAdams said. On the contrary, Tyler, your father just donated more money for a new emergency computer system. McAdams turned to Decca. Did you know about this? Decca was staring at the depression where the body had sat. Pardon? Never mind. What are you looking at? Since there is no longer a corpse, I was just wondering what was so bad in his life that he couldn't bear to wake up and face another day. The sun was casting long shadows as darkness waited in the wings. The footprints had stopped in a thicket of bare oaks. The trees identifiable by the brown, dead lobular leaves that had shed during the fall. Decca's feet sank into the patches of snow and earthy detritus, clammy and cold. Neither he nor McAdams were wearing hiking boots. Decca broke a ski heat pack and gave it to McAdams. Then he broke another one for his numb feet. His gloves, hands, and covered head were warmer, but not by much. McAdams looked around. There's nothing out here, and the ground is covered with leaves and snow. How are we going to figure out what direction he came from? I don't know, and it's getting late. Pack it in. Decca didn't answer. The bottom of John Doe's pants were wet but not muddy. If you were trampling through all this slush and leaves, there'd be some muddy residue on the cuffs, don't you think? Well, he had to have trudged through some of it because his shoe prints stopped. Yeah. I certainly don't see any tire tracks. Decca thought in a moment. The guy comes out to the woods and kills himself away from civilians. He has no idea, nothing to give us any idea who he is. He wants to go out anonymously. Yeah, and a car would ruin the anonymity. You can't lose a car. It's too big to hide and it can be traced. The same with a motorcycle. Okay. Look at the dead stuff on the forest floor, Tyler. Between the leaves and there's no cover. You could easily borrow a bike and no one would probably notice until next spring, if at all. Gotcha. So where do we start digging? Like I said, his pants, cuffs were wet but not dirty. I'm saying he buried it somewhere near his footprints. Decca picked up a long stick and gave it to McAdams. Then he found another. You sweep the area to the left of the footprints. I'll sweep the right. There are lots of tree roots. But after 10 minutes of searching, Decca hit something solid about 100 yards from where the footprints disappeared. He took off his winter gloves and slapped on the latex. Then he bent down and brought the object to the surface, shaking off leaves and dirt and bugs. The bike was painted electronic blue and had 10 gears. Definitely not a mountain bike. It was meant for short distances like touring around downtown Greenberry. It's a zip speed, McAdams stated. The bicycle rental place, Decca said. Exactly, you can see the logo on the front fender. I've rented their bikes before. The computer specializing in franchising college towns. Decca studied the handlebars, the seat, and the wheels. He found what he was looking for etched into the wheel rims of both tires. We've got an ID number, 19925. I don't have anything to write it down with. Doesn't matter, the bike comes with us. It's evidence. We're lugging in the back with us? Well, you are. He handed the bike to Tyler. You're younger and stronger. I was shot. The pity card was used up a long time ago. When we get it back, call up the local zip speed office while I talk to our hiker who found the body. The place will probably be closed by the time we get back. Then you find Who's in charge and get them to open up? We're going to sell the bike. Held up the bike. How do we get this back to town? You won't fit in the car. You'll fit on top of the car. I've got some bungee cord in the trunk. Suddenly the law school doesn't seem so bad. Take a laugh. You can beg off any time you want, Harvard. I know, I guess I forgot how much tedium it is in an investigation, but it's better than the tedium in law school right now. It's your choice. You can think about it when we talk. Walk back to the car. It's getting late, so get a move on. The kid heaved a big sigh and picked up the bike. Why does this always happen to me? Caught between the devil and the deep blue sea. You can't fight the devil. Jacob put his arms around the shoulder, so you might as well learn how to swim.